I'm Tyler Neal. I play music and just, you know, stumble through life. Try to learn something new every day. It's just something that people think before they even think about anything. It's like the thought before thought. There could be a stigma about that couch right there. Maybe it's a dirty couch and I don't want to sleep on it. or maybe it's a perfectly comfortable couch and I really could sleep on it. But the stigma may or may not dictate what I do before I even consider what it is. It's just a word that people try to stay away from. Certain things just make people uncomfortable. But I would argue that everybody carries a certain level of mental illness. Like there's this guy that Bruce turned me on to, Krishnamurti. He was like a philosopher and he would do lectures. And when he was like 6 years old, he knew 10 languages. He's from India. He's a genius. I think he died in like 93. But there's a quote by him that says what is it? He said, "It's no measure of good health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." So, I think that people, there's a lot of mental illness going on in so many layers that people aren't even aware of, and then maybe the second they might consider that there's some sort of illness going on, that they just try to find ways to cope with it or run away from it. Maybe it's they just think about things about themselves that might give them some sort of comfort. They go to ideas that are, that make them feel good, and they run away from the things that don't make them feel good. But, in my mind, there's no doubt that everybody has some level of mental illness because, we only, people already have a definition of what that word means, but before they've even defined what it is. And that's another way to look at what the word stigma means. The mind is only capable of, the human mind is only capable of, measuring so much of what's going on around us. When you get it wrong and then you continue to get it wrong, which we do on more levels than we are currently aware of. Some of them we get little treats and we do see certain things, but we don't see it all. Yeah, we're not like calculators. Like, when you type numbers in a calculator, what comes on the other side of the equal sign is going to be there. But we don't account for everything. The entitlement within expectation is kind of where you fall flat on your face. Go on a hike somewhere, or get sleep. Lack of sleep is a big contributor to mental illness. Because, your brain needs sleep. And eating the right foods, eating things that actually nourish you. But it can be done. It's actually pretty simple. It's really easy. But it's hard to break out of our habits. And it's hard to break out of what's conveniently set around us. There's stuff you can do to face things. That's kind of where courage comes in. And you just got to step up and face whatever it is. But really it's kind of like a jumping in a cold pool moment. Once you kind of jump in there, you find it's not as bad as you thought it was. It's just life. And we're not going to make it out of this thing alive. So what's the worst that could happen? Sometimes just having a conversation with a certain person that is really, it can be terrifying. That can be the scariest thing ever. You need to say something to somebody, but you can't do it for whatever reason, so you avoid it, and it causes all these other problems. It's not as scary as it ever looks. Fear is irrational most of the time. I would say just do something. Stop thinking. There's nothing to think about. Thinking isn't going to get you anywhere. Like, you think about thinking, and you don't know what you're doing, or where you're going to go, but you're not actually doing anything. You're not doing anything at all. You're just laying there, or you're just sitting there staring at the wall. But we're human beings, and Bruce would say to do is to be. But we're not human thinkings. You just got to do something. I really believe that. You can't hit a moving target. And but a lot of times in that state, you're afraid to do anything. But you can do anything. You can walk. You can, I don't know, if you like music, pick up a guitar, or just a lot of times, people, they might feel like alienated from people, but I mean, find someone you can talk to, and you don't have to talk to them about anything. I mean, just whatever, just the color of the wall. Just do something, you know what I mean? Thinking isn't getting you anywhere. That's what I would say. I think that's where a lot of that stuff lies, and just sitting there thinking about whatever it is. Well, let's see. I'm just gonna do this song I wrote a few years ago for a guy named Joshua. It's called Joshua. Joshua was born to an average city home in June. His mother, she was lost, and drinking's all his daddy knew to do. And when he was a boy, he'd play out in the backyard and dream. But the more he grew, the more he knew he wasn't ready for what this world would bring. But it's just not fair, with his hands in the air. This is not the way my life was supposed to be, and I can't see any hope to believe. Skip ahead a couple years, now he's used to all the fighting and all the tears. But you would never know, 'cause that boy would never show you, oh no. The drugs, the girls, the alcohol, give him anything to try to find peace. 'Cause he'd never known a home, and this life just ain't easy to say the least. But it seems so clear I don't belong here. It's like my life is nothing more than a big mistake, and I can't take another day this way. Joshua don't believe what they say. They're just in pain and don't know how to be any other way. Just go on, be what you want to be. You don't have to let the chains weigh you down for another day. Everybody stand up, pick yourself off the floor. You are alive, don't waste no time. Realize that you can rest when you're dead. You got one life, so don't compromise yourself or the ones that you love. The time is now, so don't sit around, 'cause it's on you and you alone to make the most, to make the most, to make the most. You gotta make the most of your life. Thanks.
That's a great song, man.
Thank you.
It's not his fault. He's just in pain. That's the only way.
Oh no,
has
Joshua,
it
don't believe what they say. They're just in pain and don't know how to be any other way. It's about somebody with like a, you grow up and then shit happens to you, and you believe what people say about you, but don't believe what they say. I mean, people are just in pain and they treat you. They might treat you like shit, but maybe they don't. They hate themselves. So why would you believe what they say? You can be whatever you want to be. So yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.